Welcome to P Passionate W World, R Radio N Network, LLC, a multimedia company. Ann Arbor, Michigan, Boston, Massachusetts, Liverpool, England, Melrose, Florida, Los Angeles, California, Fullerton, California, Washington, D.C., Chicago, Illinois are one of the many broadcast homes of PWRN, a multimedia company. The world in your hands. And now, without further ado, let me present to you one of our many hosts and their programs.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to WomenSpirit Rising. I hope that you're all settled in and feeling nice and comfortable and really ready to have a positive experience. This is what this time is for. And my name is Flash Silvermoon, in case you didn't know that, and I'm hosting this monthly radio show called WomenSpirit Rising, and I'm joined by other priestesses of different traditions and other sisters to offer live on-air rituals for healing the planet. Yep, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to heal the planet, and honey, don't we know it needs some healing. So this program will be celebrating a Lamma ritual. It's about bringing balance back to the world. And at this critical time, we must ask ourselves, what are you harvesting? And this particular show that we're sharing with you is co-created by myself and Aurora Whitebird and Esmeralda of Willendorf. I'm Flash Silvermoon, priestess of the Rainbow Goddess tradition, author of the Wise Woman's Tarot, and I'm a psychic, astrologer, animal communicator. You hear me on Wednesday nights with my animal communication show, vibrational healer, musician, enough. I do a bunch of things, and I am your circle weaver and host. And these wonderful wise women will offer us a ceremony using our sacred knowledge to help you and the planet rise to a much more satisfying and balanced energy. So, I've talked to you about the wonderful women who are sharing this space, and just to remind you again, Aurora Whitebird, what shall we say that you do?
Okay, well, I have a little shop in Ocala, and we teach and share lots of different metaphysical things, but this year we are focusing on balance and healing and helping people be closer to the earth and to nature. And so as a priestess of the goddess, I work with bringing forth the divine feminine in everybody, male and female.
Oh, blessed be. And Esmeralda of Willendorf, say a word or two about yourself.
Flash, I describe myself as a rune mistress. I read the runes, bones, and stones, and I too try to raise the vibe for the tribe in most everything I do. I'm available on Facebook, and I'm available by email as well at willendorf@acceleration.net.
Okay. And those of you who wish can find me at flashsilvermoon.com and also at flashsilvermoon@gmail.com and even on Facebook under Friends of who like Flash Silvermoon. Anyhow, our focus will be using the fire of the heart, which is so Leo. We just have come through the first of the Leo new moons, and we'll be using that to heal the waters and also bringing the fire into balance, because the two of them I mean, look around. There's water everywhere just flooding, and then you've got everything else that isn't flooding burning up. It's a challenging time. So in particular, we're trying to bring some balance, especially to the places that are under siege. It's necessary. The flames are quite out of control, and everything flows and stays alive with water. So we are mostly water as well, so we need to bring these things into balance. We're enduring a time when the people and the planet are feeling much more vulnerable with such abrupt changes on all levels. And we do need love, peace, healing, elevation, and right now, most importantly, balance. So please join us each month and share with your sisters and spiritual friends so that we can make larger and larger circles to encircle the planet for support and healing. There is power in numbers, we know this. Power in the numbers of like-minded others. So if you want to participate and not just listen, you might want to have a burning bowl, some smudge, your favorite blend of incense, etc. You might even want to have some gem elixirs if you don't want to use smoke. I happen to make some myself. Anyway, so you can get your smoke going or whatever libations you might want. And this is a very exciting time as we share healing energy globally at this time. And our circle sometimes rotates others in and out as needed to offer up a cauldron full of tasty gumbo, provided by spirited wise women, and we definitely are that. We offer you a template, if you will, for your own circle magic, should you be a novice, and a space of safe spiritual sisterhood, no matter what your skill level. All are welcome to listen and enjoy the fine energy that we raise. So let's get the smudge bowls cooking, and whatever else you need to spritz or burn. And it's time to reweave the luminous crystalline web. Just imagine that, a luminous crystalline web that surrounds the entire planet, including all the interlocking sacred sites that have been methodically aligned for the planetary healing and elevation needed at this special time. And you can see all the interesting astrological shifts occurring now. Now, I haven't been doing my Astro Flash in a couple of months, but this coming month of August you will see plenty, and I'll be talking to you tonight also about some of the astrological situations going on. We're moving through a time of most profound and dynamic change, and we're just not going to be the same people we were last year. And this is true in every aspect of life, and many of you are seeing that consciously, and for some, that realization is coming a little more slowly. But profound change is here to stay, and there's no winding back the tape. Not at all, okay? So, these abrupt changes, just turn on the on the TV or don't, and you'll see some of the wounding and harshness that so many are going through. And we need to really look at who we want to be as we are rebirthed through these coming months. We're dealing with many, many retrogrades now, Saturn, Neptune, Pluto. Mercury's coming up. I think Mercury will be retrograde around the 13th, 14th of August. And when planets are going retrograde, what that basically means is the energy is more internal. I mean, there's a lot more I can say about that, but basically it slows things up. And that's an important thing to know. Sometimes that works out well. Tonight, Mars and the Sun are conjoined in Leo. And so I've been seeing that ever since this aspect began, like a day or so ago, so much more violence everywhere. And you can feel it when you're driving. It's hard. And so when you're passing through these times, you need to remember that drive defensively, try and breathe, keep your temper from exploding, especially on little things, because Mars has been conjoining the sun and the moon, and we don't need to make a mountain out of a molehill is part of that problem. We also have some more positive energies. The T-square that's been with Jupiter squaring Pluto is starting to separate. So it's good. Some of the difficulties are clearing out and clearing up. But, you really want to think about who you want to be. What do you need to shed? Saturn has been working us hard for quite a while, and squaring Chiron to the planet of the wounded healer. So we've got an odd trine between Saturn and Uranus. So we've got the energy of revolution and change, trying to work it out with structure. And, boy, isn't that what the politricks look like? So this convergence of energy may not exactly make you feel very playful, even though a lot of Leo energy does make you feel more playful. But with so much going backwards, it's hard for things to really flow as easily as they might. So find your good moments when they show up, grab them and enjoy, and let that be some food to help get through the harsher energies, because we can feel like we're too locked in to some of these flaws. And we'll have many options as to how to deal with this as the eclipses come up this following month. And our next show will be focusing a lot on the Great American Eclipse. So our energies are accelerating. That's happening. And Jupiter is making everything larger. And, if things are difficult, they're difficult in a bigger way. So, because we always need to have some protection, let me offer a little protection ritual for us to start, because we're trying to shift the patriarchal paradigm. So that requires some shielding. So this is something I learned from my first teacher, Reverend Phyllis Woodbury. It's about the ring past knot. And as you do this, surround yourself with a ring of fire. It's called I Surround Myself. And whoever has the noise in the background, if you can mute that, that would be great. I surround myself with the ring past knot to protect me and mine. Those are the words that you say. And as you do this, imagine yourself surrounded by an impenetrable ring of fire. This is good for now with the Leo energy and all the fire energy. So imagine that ring of fire around each of your waists and around the planet. And again, holding that vision, I surround myself with the ring past knot to protect me and or mine. So this is a good start and a good way to use this fiery, passionate energy. Okay, so Aurora, would you like to begin with the directions?
Yes. That was my pups. They were getting in with the energy.
What's that?
Okay. That was my pups. Sorry.
Okay.
But this time I want to call in the spirit helpers and the watchtowers of the East. The spirit of the eagle, of the morning sun. I'd like to call in Amaterasu, the goddess that is the solar goddess of Japan. I'd like to call in the beautiful east wind that carries all these storms across the planet, that it may be gentle as it cleanses and clears the air and the land. I'd like to call in the clarity of mind, the clear thinking, the new ideas for bringing harmony, bringing balance, bringing health back to the planet, and therefore to us as well.
Oh, blessed be.
So be it.
And I'd like to call in the south, the watchtowers of the south, and the energy of fire, divine fire, and the animals of the cougar who helps us to stand up for what we believe in, that fire in the belly, to do what is necessary when we have to be somewhat fearless. And also the deer, so that we remember to be compassionate as well. And I ask that these energies help mitigate the fires that are causing so much damage, that those who feel that they need to fire things up on the positive, let that happen. But stop the arson and stop the fire that is out of control. We need divine fire, not out of control, rampant fire. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
Oh.
I'd like to call in the powers of the West, the spirit keepers and beings of water, the dolphins, the whales, the salmon, the powers of the rain makers and the cloud people, that they may bring soothing, cleansing rain to the areas that need it instead of to the areas that already have too much of it.
Really?
And to bring us healing within our emotional bodies, that we may join together as people and help one another to heal rather than to harm our children, our families, our communities, that healing may begin and continue forward until we get through the eclipse in one piece. So be it.
Blessed be.
Blessed be. I call in the north, the powers of the north, the spirit keepers, the watchtowers of the north, the place of the mountains, the earth, spirit, green Tara, white buffalo woman. When we speak into the north, we bring into the earth plane that which we desire. We have spoken this evening about focusing on what do we want to be as we're rebirthed and who do we want to be now. And in the north is where we manifest the desires that we want to bring into fruition. And so in the north, we face the north and we speak our desires to the north, and then we follow that by 3 sharp breaths. There's power in our breath and there's power in our words. And as we speak them to the north, we bring them and manifest them here on this material plane. All the keepers and the spirits and the watchtowers and the guardians of the north, I ask that you be here with us as we practice our rite this evening and assist us in manifesting that which is so needed and so desired for this planet and its people. Oh.
So be it.
And I call in all of our ancestors who are listening, surrounding us, helping and healing, standing with us to help bring these wonderful prayers into being, into the light, into manifestation. Thank you, ancestors, one and all.
Blessed be.
Oh,
Ashe. Aurora, please share with us about balancing.
Balancing the fire and the water is really difficult right now, not just for the earth, but for all of us.
Yep.
And there are people that believe that it's us causing it because it's so out of balance in us that it's affecting the earth. And we worked last night in another circle that I had to bring back balance with drumming and with bells and with rattles, to change the vibration of our own bodies and our own minds and our emotions, in the hope that that would ricochet out as we reach and teach and touch others. We also found that using rose quartz at this time, because the quartz is earth, it's stone, and with a beautiful rosy energy in it, it can open the heart, and it can also ground all those energies we don't want to feel, those emotions we don't want any longer. And so if one has a rose quartz, large or small, and holds it to the heart as you meditate and as you ask for cleansing, releasing, bringing in the power of love and beauty and truth, and releasing the energies of sadness, despair, and fear, and anger. They say that anger really is fear in an outward motion. Fear we hold in, but when we are angry, we express it, usually. But behind it is the fear of loss, the fear of having no power, the fear of pain, the fear of destruction. So we use the rose quartz as a way to open our hearts and our minds and allow us to have the courage to release those things, those addictions that hold us back, that keep us in that angry framework. And so I would hope that everyone can have a little piece of rose quartz, or a big one is even better, and use that rose quartz. You can put it in a glass of water and let it sit for a few hours in the sunshine, and then take the rose quartz out and drink the water, knowing that you're taking in that loving energy, taking in that energy of cleansing with the water to help us release and detox and transform the fears and the angers that we hold within us. And as we walk, each step we take, we can choose to take it with love, or we can choose to take it with anger. So it's a choice to continue to hold those angry feelings, hold those fearful thoughts. It's hard to understand that it is our choice, so that we don't react in anger. And if we can quench the fires in ourselves, then that energy can move out and affect others in a similar fashion, so that we can become a blessing to our community and our loved ones. So I hope you'll do it. Hope.
That's a wonderful offering. And, you can also put that rose quartz in your animals' water bowls.
Yes.
Or next to them. That'll help them too.
Yeah, they always seem to feel everything we're feeling. And sometimes I think they take on more of it. I think they take on more of it in a way of caring for us.
Absolutely.
Than they really should have to do.
Yep. That's why I make Happy in particular a special flower essence mix, because she so much is like me and takes on. She's a Pisces too, and she takes on stuff. So before I even do these shows, I usually treat her before we get going, and I spritz us both with the Golden Armor Gem Elixir. So Esmeralda, let's hear some rune magic.
Okay. Well, I always try to give a little thought to the theme for the show and see what the runes, have to offer us, each time we do this. And the main theme for this month is Lammas, which is the second of our harvest holidays. And there is a rune called Yera, which looks like in math, if you had a less than sign and a greater than sign, and they're just sort of nested together. They're just nested together in this really nice way. They fit together, and that's the rune Yera. And it's the harvest rune. I like to refer to this rune as the Thanksgiving rune. And out of all the holidays that people tend to, uniformly celebrate in this country, I think that Thanksgiving tends to be one of the least pressured holidays, where people can really just sort of sit down and be together. There's not all this other cultural pressure along with just that you're thankful for what you've got and to be together. And that's a lot about what this rune says. It's talking about slowing down and taking the time to enjoy that which you've harvested in your life. This is a cycle rune. It's about the year. What have you harvested for yourself over the last year? And it encourages us to slow down and remember that really all we have is this moment right now where we are in the present, and to enjoy the present and what we have, and to remember to focus on the positive. I think you've heard me say this before, but in any given day, about 99% of the stuff goes right. There's just a little bit of the stuff that goes wrong. But what we remember every day are those few things that didn't go the way we wanted them to, and we completely take for granted that 99% of the other stuff that went well. The car started, the water turned on, the toilet flushed, the door locked, the computer worked, the stoplights worked, all those things continue to work that we take for granted. And so this rune really encourages us to focus on what is working and to be grateful for that, and to take the time to sit and take that in. Celebrate and savor your success, okay? That which we have harvested for ourselves over this year, even though it may have felt like it's a really difficult year, the harvests have been great. And so it's really important to stop and take the time to truly savor what is really good in our lives. This rune, Yera, has a warning with it. Most of them have something, that tells you to pay attention to. And the other message of Yera is justice. It's also a very balanced rune. We're talking about justice, and it reminds us that we reap what we sow. You get back from the universe, that which you put out there. So, be mindful about what you do, because it always comes back to you. The second rune that I want to talk about this evening is called Nothiz. And this one particularly speaks to where Flash referred earlier to the fire of the heart and us seeking to serve places that are under siege. Okay, Nothiz is the need fire. It's that deep fire in your gut that gets you through whatever you got to get through. The rune Nothiz is literally like when you see in the old movies where somebody holds a stick and takes another stick and rubs up against it and makes a fire. That's what this rune looks like. It's a vertical stick with a angled stick rubbing up against it. And this is talking about us having that internal, what they call the need fire, that internal fire to get us through, the strength to face a trial. The warning about this rune is that you should always practice constraint at a time like this. You know, you don't want to go spend all your money. You don't want to, spend all your goodies, all that stuff you've been saving for a rainy day. Don't go out and blow it tomorrow. This is the time to conserve, but it's also not a time to be panicked. It's a time to be confident in knowing that we have this need fire deep in our gut to get through whatever comes, and we're going to behave in a way that will sustain us through a difficult time. We will practice constraint. That means, conserve what you've got, ration out what you've got, don't sacrifice if necessary. It doesn't mean we have to give up everything, but it means to behave prudently. Practice patience. And whenever we practice patience, we cultivate perseverance in our life. So all of these are, I feel, is like telling us we've got everything we need to get through the difficult time if we just use what we've got to go there. And the other thing about Nothiz is this is about having divine help through difficult times or through a trial. So we've got everything we need, this fire of the heart, this fire of the gut, to get through these difficult times, these times of siege. And then the next rune that I want to talk about is Isa. That's the ice rune. And this is relating to the idea of quieting the flames and healing the waters. Isa is ice, and it literally means stop. It means stop, look, and listen. Don't go any further. Stand still. Practice discrimination. And I don't mean, in the negative sense of the word, but I mean in stopping and looking and making the right choices before you move on. There's really not a whole lot we can do to make things different than the way we are today. But what we can do is we can stop reacting and stop being a part of this what I like to call a media feeding frenzy, that one thing happens and everybody has to share it and say it and comment on it and go wild about it. And we give these things that we really shouldn't be feeding with our energy. We give them so much power over us that they seem to overtake in a way that's really not healthy. So this rune is telling us to stop, take a breath, look, and then practice discernment. Make a decision based on what you can really see. And sometimes this means you have to stop and wait for the thaw so that you have a clear vision, so that we can act wisely and see clearly where we're going. And then finally, to tie all this up and bring it together, is the goddess rune Berkana. I feel like that with all of this, to heal the planet, to be nurturing ourselves through difficult times and practicing understanding and compassion for all the difficulties that are going on in the world, that we need to, always go back to our fallback of the Great Mother who blesses us with abundance and creativity. This rune Berkana is like a capital B. It's balanced, it's symmetric, and I just feel like, we always have to go back to our mother who helps us heal and takes care of us and nurtures us through these difficult times and can help regenerate and rebirth us into that which we want to be, with balance and love for all of us. And so that's what I've got.
Well, that was wonderful. It sure all fit.
Indeed.
It all made a lot of sense to me.
The runes just...
What do you think, Aurora?
That's what I love about the runes. They just make sense.
Yeah.
And I love that Berkana came up last, because without the Great Mother, where would we be?
Yes, as the song says, when it's all come down, you got to go back to Mother Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so if you want to light anything ceremonial, this is a good time. And I think I'll spritz a little bit of the golden armor around here as we get busy. And this is a really good time for us to do this ritual, calling in the energy of the elements as we have, and to create this circle, bring it all into the cauldron of transformation, to manifest balance. And so each one of us will start with what we are bringing to fruition at this time of harvest. So I'll start, and this will be more of the what are we doing personally, okay? So I do believe what I've been manifesting and harvesting the most to this point has been health and diet. It's been on my front and back burner. It's what's been needed to be. And learning lots about food and what works, what doesn't. And I've certainly had to be very clear with myself about what I can and can't do. I'm not a person who likes limitation. Most of us don't. However, given the relationship with Saturn and Chiron with my chart over this most of the year, this is the very thing that I have had to make friends with. And talk about discrimination. I've had to be very discriminating on every level. And it hasn't been as joyful as I would prefer, but I do believe I have, with some good help, have managed to save my life. So that's not a bad thing to manifest.
That's a fine thing.
Yeah. So moving along, I passed the rattle.
Well, what I've been manifesting personally is similar to Flash in the sense that I was told my blood pressure was elevated and I needed to do something about it. And I realized that most of the time my blood pressure resonates to my inner aggravation.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm working on staying more mellow and practicing what I preach. And also, again, practicing what I preach, I'm having to learn to manifest good things every day, despite the fact that the season of not so much business is upon us here. And as usual, the summer has slowed down as far as the shop goes. So instead of panicking like I did last summer, I have said, okay, I'm going to set the mood every morning, and on the way down on my drive, I'm going to use my happy music and my positive thoughts and see people coming in and see things happening and see the bank account happy, and most of the time it's working. So I'm really happy to see that I can harvest some things that last year I forgot to work on. So again, we teach what we most need to be reminded about ourselves, and so I'm glad that I got that message and am able to make use of it, and it's working much, much better. So I'm happy about that. So I'll pass the rattle to Esmeralda.
All right. Well, if anybody remembers, and we sort of do this thing, at least once or twice you've heard me say something about Deer Heart Lodge. And well, folks, I am the proud owner of Dear Heart Lodge.
Blessed be.
Thank you for all of your energies that have been a part of these circles. As we've been doing this, this energy has been just as much a part of manifesting this as the work that I've been doing, and the work that the universe has been doing to just push me right along. And okay, here, go do this. Here, go do this. And so, yeah, I'm just really thrilled to death. I have, on my birthday, I got a signed contract, and last week I became the proud owner of 5 acres and some buildings that makes a really nice retreat center. And its name is Deer as in DEER, the animal, and Heart,
right.
HART, which is another way to refer to a deer or a stag in the British tradition. So and that's my medicine, my main totem. So it's Dear Heart Lodge. And thank you, gracious Goddess and mighty Lord of Light and Life.
Yay!
I'll pass you the rattle.
All right. Well, now we're getting more towards what we like to manifest for ourselves. And I would like to manifest even better health. I would like to manifest such a healing with my digestion and circulation that it takes up very little of my time to have to work at maintaining it. I would like this to be a smoother ride. I don't mind working hard, but I would like to manifest more ease with this healing process, and for all of it to manifest at the perfect pace that my system needs. That's really important, that I remind myself to not just say, oh, I want it fast, or oh, I want it slow. I want the perfect pace for my inner being, my inner clock, whatever that may be. And I'd like to manifest more music, more opportunities that actually work, where I can play and share and experience that part of my world as well. That's what I'd like to manifest, because I know that that's one place where I'm able to lift things up for me and those around. So, a little more joy, a little more music. Actually, lots more. I don't need a little, I want a lot. Okay. And passing the rattle.
Yes, you can certainly raise the vibe. I can attest to that.
Oh, thank you.
Well, personally, at this point, I would like to manifest in the perfect manner the actual functioning of the Temple of the Goddess that is based at Crow's Crossroads. And tomorrow night we're having our first discussion on the Goddess. And so we're going to make the temple not just official as far as on paper or whatever, but to actually focus more on helping people access their own goddess within and bring forth the love and the light that is needed for themselves in their daily life to help them have the strength and the courage to get through these difficult moments that, as you said, astrologically are going to be a while. And so that's my personal wish for the coming year, at least, is to really get the temple moving and have people be blessed by it. So I'll pass it on to Esmeralda.
Okay. Well, as I said, I have manifested this piece of land, this actual physical material place. And so, now that I actually have the site, now is the time to, build and manifest the community and the resources that it takes to build the loving, supportive community that I look forward to building there.
Where is this?
In Gainesville.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right up the road from you. Right up the road from you. So yeah. My desire is to manifest the community, the supportive spiritual community that I've been envisioning to come as a part of this. So I want to add that on to that. And I'll pass it on to you, Flash.
Oh, blessed be. As you say that, of course, I have these visions and reminding myself of the Wise Woman festivals that we've all shared.
Oh,
and,
yes.
Those were some times. And who knows what this area has in store? Who knows?
Yep.
The goddess knows. And, hopefully she will help manifest exactly what that is that you want to have happen over there.
I'm open. I'm open to. I'm open to it. Looking, things never turn out the way that you imagine them. So I'm just open to it, looking the way it's supposed to look.
Yeah, I really think that's the best attitude. To be open. Sometimes we limit ourselves with our vision, and I would really. I know I've been saying this for a while, but I really want to manifest completion on some of these books that I have almost done. I really want that to happen this year. And it takes sitting down, making the time, and also feeling well enough to give it that level of time. So the healing and then the manifestation of writing can come together. That'll be a nice package deal. It'll have to be. And so many of the books that I have in process are either done or almost done. And it's time for them to be complete and to meet the world. So I say, blessed be, may Lifetime Companions and Temple of Isis be manifest, and the astrology book as well. And every time I talk about this, somebody says to me, well, you really need to write your autobiography. And I hear that and I just go, yeah, but not another book. But that will be fun. So at any rate, more writing, more healing, more manifestation. Blessed be.
Blessed be. Well, I have to echo that remark because my book is done. And I finally think I have the publisher that'll make me happy. So ideally, that'll get going around maybe the time of my birthday in the fall. But
yay!
Got to get it done. My mother's haunting me, so I will get it done. She really is. So yeah, I hope to get that out now finally, since it has been sitting, waiting. But also, I'd like to manifest.
Books, they kind of scream,
Yes. They follow you around, tap you on the shoulder, and bang you on the head, and then pretty soon it gets louder. So,
yeah.
Got to get it done. Got to get it out there. So we have time to do other things. And the other thing I'd like to manifest too is some changes here on the property, some tidying up and some changing and some refurbishing on the property because we're working so much we just don't make the time for it. So need to do that in the coming months. And then I really would have pretty much everything I want, which would be lovely. So, blessed be.
Blessed be.
Blessed be. Okay. I really would like to just sort of, this is more on a global than a personal perspective, but I would really like to see us as a people, us as a species, us as a planet, all our relations. And I don't think all our relations behave the way that our human relations behave. I think we're sort of unique. We're really all very much the same, but as humans, I think we do sort of behave in a unique way compared to, horses and dogs and cows. I think we do things a little differently. And I would just really like for us as a planet, us as people, to stop, look, and listen, and to really see things more clearly. To take some time and look at things clearly and take positive actions and make conscious choices that result in the greatest good for the greatest number. I think that politically, individually, nationalistically, we tend to focus on the I and the me and the us as a nation, or the I as a person, or the me as an individual, about what we think is best from that perspective, rather than actually taking a few steps back and looking at the bigger picture and trying to actually sort of be objective as the selfish human beings that we are, to look at the greatest good for the greatest number, and to make decisions from a more globally, humanistically responsible perspective. Greatest good for the greatest number as often as possible. Blessed
be. That's a good one. Yeah, I personally needed to go back for one more personal one. Unfortunately, I forgot to. Really, I need to manifest a person who can actually do pool work, so that I can get my pool up and running again. It is absolutely key to my healing. I need to be able to get in the water and use that as the very best exercise I can possibly have. So a fixed pool, a pool person to come and do the work every couple of weeks that needs to be done. Blessed be the water, blessed be water for me here at Moonhaven. Gotta have it. Gotta manifest it. And now let me go ahead and move toward the more global, because we sure do need that global healing. And basically, all around, kindness. We don't only need more kindness, but we sure as hell do need more kindness. There's just so much aggressive thoughtless words, people being blamed, people being shamed, people being bullied. Enough. We have enough. Have way too much of that. And so on all levels, more kindness, understanding, justice, healing for the planet. Blessed be.
Blessed be. And on a global scale, I would ask that not only the vision be clear and the kindness be there, but the people in power would allow their hearts to be opened and consider all the people when they make decisions and they make laws. Consider all the people and the animals and the planet and the waters and the air, and take those things into consideration and how they're going to benefit, rather than taking from one area to benefit another area. So I'm asking for their hearts to be opened.
Blessed be.
So be it.
Okay, and what I would like to continue to put out there on a global level, a universal level, is that when we take a minute and we take some time, and I really tend to isolate from the mundane world, that world out there. I tend to isolate from it quite a bit because I just am not really willing to wallow in it. But what I do think is really important is, and this just seems to be a theme with me, is that when you look out onto the world, you see all this violence and all this bad, nasty, negative stuff, and I think that we tend to forget that while, yeah, there's a bunch of bad, nasty stuff out there, in general, as a human population, a lot of traditional kind of abuse that's happened through the ages has reduced. It doesn't mean it still doesn't go on, but it has reduced. The number of wars has reduced. It doesn't mean they're not still happening. It doesn't mean our weapons aren't way more deadly than they used to be. But if you look at the trends as the world continues to turn, the bad things, the discrimination against different groups of people, and things like female genital mutilation, while all those things continue to happen, the instances of these things continues to decrease. And I think that we need to make sure and that we take the time to notice what we have harvested at this time. You know, we have harvested really positive changes in this planet and its people. And while, there's still lots of work to be done, it's always important that remember that, you know, that Thanksgiving rune, that we take the time to, you know, sort of inventory all the stuff on our full moon list and our harvest list that we've had on our list that we've actually manifested, and take the time to notice that, and that we have manifested, you know, some better behavior as human beings on the planet, even though we've still got a long way to go. We're doing better than we were doing, you know, a couple hundred years ago. So focus on and noticing the good things that we have done, and continuing to manifest that, and continue to move in those positive directions of change. Blessed be.
Well, I'd like to say a special blessing and appreciation for the whales. My goodness, the whales are actually circling around New York City. I've had pictures I've put up on Facebook of beautiful big blue whales in the Hudson River. which is a little hard to imagine, but they're also coming around the Golden Gate Bridge. Typically, we don't see these big, beautiful critters where they're showing up, and that says something good about what's happening in the water. Now, of course, there's other things going on are horrifying, and the fact that we don't eat anything from the Gulf Coast, sadly, and probably not from the Pacific Coast either. But blessed be, the whales are doing better, and that gives me a lot of joy, because the whales, aren't they the ones that carry the message of the ancient times? They carry the ancient wisdom. Yeah, they carry the ancient wisdom. So blessed be the whales.
Blessed be the whales. Blessed be the whales.
And now it's time. The circle is open and never broken.
And never broken.
Merry meet.
Merry meet.
And merry part.
Merry part. And merry meet again and again and again and again. And our next show will be Thursday, August the 18th. And we'll be talking a lot about the solar eclipse. We'll be right before that eclipse. So hopefully we can give you some good talk and understanding. Blessings, 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 everyone. So good to be with all of you again and again and again.
Thank you for listening to Passionate World Radio Network, a multimedia company. You can listen to this program all over again at PassionateWorldRadioNetwork.com, Facebook.com/PWRN, Twitter.com/PWRN, GooglePlus.com/PWRN. Distinguish yourself from the ordinary. And remember, please keep listening.